Urgent Dallas Cowboys fans, do not miss this. What just happened? You won't believe this one. But before we reveal the big news, make sure to subscribe to the channel because here we bring you daily videos with the latest Dallas Cowboys updates. And to not miss anything, activate the notifications. Hey, Cowboys Nation! Today we're diving into something that's been shaking up the Dallas Cowboys coaching scene in a way we haven't seen in quite some time. If you've been following the team closely, you know that the offseason is always a period of flux. But this particular move, or better yet, series of moves, could have long-lasting implications for the team's future. We're talking about the Cowboys' aggressive search for their next defensive coordinator right after parting ways with Matt Eberflus. And trust me, this isn't just a routine coaching change. It's a strategic pivot that could define their 2024 season and beyond. So, what exactly happened? Well, just a few days ago, the Cowboys made the bold decision to fire Matt Eberflus after just one season in the role. That's a short stint by NFL standards, especially for a coordinator who was supposed to bring stability and a new defensive identity. But the results apparently weren't up to the franchise's expectations, and the front office decided to make a change. Now, the question is, who will be the next man to lead this defense? Because we all know that defense has been a mixed bag for Dallas in recent seasons, sometimes stellar, other times inconsistent. The search is already underway, and it's happening at a rapid pace. Dallas has already set up 3 interviews with some serious contenders. First, they spoke with Darren Jones, who's been the Minnesota Vikings defensive pass game coordinator. Now, if you've been following the Vikings defense, you know Jones has been a key figure in shaping their pass defense strategies, especially in a league that's increasingly passing heavy. Then, the Cowboys also interviewed Ephraim Ban, Cleveland Browns safeties coach, a guy known for his tactical intelligence and his ability to develop secondary players. And most recently, they sat down with Jim Lienhard, the defensive pass game coordinator from the Denver Broncos, who's gained a lot of respect across the league for his innovative schemes and his ability to adapt to different offensive styles. But here's where things get even more interesting. Dallas had hoped to interview Atlanta Falcons defensive coordinator Jeff Ulrich, but that request was denied. Why? Because the Falcons apparently weren't willing to part ways with Ulrich just yet. Or perhaps the league's rules on interviewing coordinators in the middle of the season or off-season played a role. Regardless, this indicates that Dallas is not just settling for any candidate. They're clearly aiming high, looking for someone who can bring a transformative impact to their defense. Now, here's the big kicker. While the team could go ahead and make a decision from the pool of already interviewed candidates, the odds are that they're holding out for a more high-profile name. And that's where Brian Flores enters the picture. The veteran defensive mind, who's been the Vikings' defensive coordinator since 2023, is on the verge of becoming a free agent. His contract expires this Wednesday, opening the door for him to explore opportunities elsewhere. And what's intriguing about Flores is not just his impressive resume, but his potential fit within Dallas' defensive scheme. Flores, remember, is a former head coach with the Miami Dolphins, where he earned a reputation for his aggressive, blitz-heavy style, and his ability to develop young talent. His defenses are known for their discipline, versatility, and strategic complexity. The fact that he's available now could be a game-changer for Dallas. Imagine a coordinator who not only understands the nuances of NFL defenses, but also has a proven track record of maximizing talent and adjusting schemes to exploit opponents' weaknesses. That could be exactly what the Cowboys need to finally elevate their pass rush, which has been a significant concern over recent seasons. Let's talk about that pass rush because it's a key point in understanding Dallas' defensive struggles. In 2025, the Cowboys' leading sack artist was Jadeveon Clowney, who managed to rack up 8.5 sacks. Not bad, but when you consider the team's aspirations and the talent they possess, that's not enough. For a team that's been aiming to be a top-tier defense, lacking an elite pass rusher has been a glaring issue. Opposing quarterbacks have had too much time to operate, and the secondary has often been put in difficult situations because of it. Now, Flores' arrival could help address this concern. His schemes are known for their pressure packages, and his ability to scheme up blitzes and stunts could turn guys like Dallas Turner, who had 80 sacks in 2025, into even more disruptive forces. And let's not forget the broader context of the team's defensive performance despite the pass rush struggles. Dallas's defense ranked third in yards surrendered and seventh in points allowed in 2025. That's impressive, and it shows that there's talent and scheme there. But the missing piece has been that disruptive pass rusher who can turn the tide of a game on a single play. With Flores' expertise, the Cowboys could potentially unleash an entirely new level of pass rush dominance, which might be the difference between a playoff exit and a deep postseason run. Looking at the historical context, Dallas has traditionally been a team that invests heavily in defense, especially in the draft and through free agency. But recent seasons have seen some inconsistency, partly due to coaching changes and injury issues. Remember, in 2024, the team had a lot of injuries along the defensive line and in the secondary, which hampered their ability to sustain pressure and coverage. The hiring of a top-tier defensive coordinator like Flores could be the strategic move that stabilizes and elevates the unit's performance, especially if he manages to integrate his aggressive schemes with the talent already on roster. Now, let's compare the situation with other teams and coaching hires around the league. It's clear that defensive coordinators are in high demand, especially those who bring innovative schemes and a track record of success. Flores, with his experience as a head coach and his success in Miami, is considered one of the most attractive options on the market. Teams like the Dallas Cowboys, who are still keen on competing at the highest level, seeing him a potential gain share. His ability to adapt to different offensive styles and to develop young pass rushers and secondary players could be exactly what Dallas needs to break out of their defensive stagnation. From a strategic perspective, Dallas's coaching search also points to a shift in how they view their defense. The team has historically relied on star players like Micah Parsons and Trayvon Diggs, but now they seem to understand that scheme, coaching, and system fit are just as crucial as individual talent. Bringing in a coach like Flores could be a signal that they want to build a more aggressive, scheme-diverse defense that can adapt to the evolving NFL landscape where passing offenses are more explosive than ever. What can we expect in the coming weeks? Well, the clock is ticking. Flores' availability makes him a prime target, not just for Dallas, but for other teams as well. But given the Cowboys' aggressive approach and their need for a top-tier defensive mind, it's quite possible that they'll be front-runners in courting him. If they succeed, it could set the tone for their entire off-season, especially when it comes to free agency and the draft. The potential to draft or acquire a dominant pass rusher in the upcoming draft or free agency hinges on having a defensive coordinator who can maximize their talent. In terms of future outlook, the Cowboys are at a crossroads. The 2025 season was a roller coaster. Flashes of brilliance mixed with moments of inconsistency. The defense was solid overall, but the lack of a consistent pass rush was glaring. Now, with the possibility of Flores taking over, the team could dramatically improve their pass rush and overall defensive efficiency. This move might also influence their draft strategy, pushing them to prioritize pass rushers or secondary players who can thrive under a more aggressive scheme. And let's not forget the broader NFL landscape. How do these coaching changes ripple across the league? While successful hires often set off a domino effect with other teams reevaluating their defensive strategies and coaching staff, for Dallas, securing a coach like Flores would not only boost their immediate prospects, but could also reshape their long-term defensive identity. It's a bold move, but one that reflects a team hungry for success and willing to invest in the right leadership. So, what's the next step? Will Dallas lock in Flores before the NFL's coaching carousel spins even further? Will they settle for one of the already interviewed candidates? Or will they pull out all the stops to bring in a high-profile name? And how will this decision influence their upcoming draft and free agency plans? All of these questions hang in the air, creating a sense of anticipation that's almost as exciting as an October game under the bright Dallas lights. Now, as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to emphasize that this isn't just about a coaching hire. It's about the strategic direction of the Dallas Cowboys, their quest to become a dominant defensive team, and their relentless pursuit of excellence. The move to potentially bring Flores aboard signals that they're serious about making a leap, not just for the upcoming season, but for years to come. It's a story that's still unfolding, and I promise you, the next few weeks will be crucial in shaping the Cowboys' destiny. Before I finish, I want to remind you this is the kind of news that can change everything. A new defensive coordinator could unlock hidden potential, elevate players like Dallas Turner, and turn the tide against some of the league's top offenses. So buckle up, Cowboys fans, because the offseason just got a whole lot more interesting. And now, Dallas Cowboys fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you think Flores is the perfect fit, or do you believe the team should stick with one of the candidates they've already interviewed? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the future of the Cowboys. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Dallas Cowboys news, analysis, and insider info. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Cowboys!